in a move that has drawn quiet but keen attention across Nigeria's political landscape. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Dr. Bernard Mohammed Doro as minister-designate, a decision many analysts see as part of a broader strategic reshuffle within his administration. In this commentary, Bagudu Mohammed takes a closer look at Tinubu's quiet strategy, the Bernard Mohammed Doro appointment. When news broke that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had appointed Dr. Bernard Mohammed Doro as minister-designate to replace Professor Nentawe Yilwada, the newly named national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, it didn't come with fanfare. There were no loud headlines, no partisan debates, only a curious calm. Yet in that silence I sensed something deliberate, something deeply strategic. Dr. Doro, from Bassa local government in Jos North, Plateau State, represents more than another ministerial replacement. His emergence carried a quiet symbolism, the kind Tinubu has perfected over the years, a move that leaves everyone guessing, analyzing, and ultimately acknowledging his political craftsmanship. Unlike the uproar that greeted earlier appointments, from Professor Yilwada's elevation to the nomination of the new INEC chairman, Professor Josh, this one landed softly, almost whispering across the airwaves. The muted reaction was no accident. Tinubu, ever the master tactician, understands that silence can sometimes speak louder than noise. This was one of those moments. Even on social media and WhatsApp groups where political chatter thrives, the tone was cautious. Nobody celebrated wildly, and nobody protested loudly. It was as though the president had placed before the nation a dual-faced mirror. Bernard and Mohammed, a fusion of identities that embodies inclusivity, balance, and restraint. The name itself became part of the message, familiar, neutral, and safe. A bridge between faiths and sentiments. But beyond names, there's substance. Dr. Doro isn't just another political appointee. He is a professional hybrid, a pharmacist, and a lawyer, with over 2 decades of experience in both Nigeria and the United Kingdom. His resume reflects range and adaptability, traits sorely needed in governance today. In a country often divided by lines of tribe, faith, or professional elitism, such versatility carries quiet power. Tinubu's choice, therefore, appears not only logical but also psychological. Nigerians are emotional beings, deeply attached to symbols of representation and belonging. We celebrate not just competence but identity. Whether it's the first woman, the first northerner, or the first youth to achieve something, our joy is often tied to what their success represents, not just what it delivers. Politics at its core is emotional theater. The president seems to understand this dynamic intimately. His now famous campaign mantra, Emilokan, it's my turn, was not a policy statement but an emotional one. It tapped into collective sentiment about fairness and recognition. The same balancing act is evident here. An APC chairman from Plateau Central, a governor from Plateau South, and now a minister-designate from Plateau North. Each appointment feels deliberate, a map of inclusion drawn with political precision. Of course, one could argue that merit should outweigh sentiment. But in a diverse society like ours, perception often carries more weight than performance, at least initially. People must first feel represented before they can believe in the system that represents them. When citizens perceive fairness, peace follows. When they feel excluded, resentment grows. It's not weakness, it's human nature. That is why this appointment resonates quietly but powerfully. It shows a president who reads the emotional temperature of the nation and responds with symbolic equilibrium. Dr. Doro's name alone softens edges, a fusion of identities that reassures everyone and offends no one. His professional journey, bridging medicine, law, and business, reinforces competence. Together they tell a story of balance, the kind Nigeria desperately needs. In the end, Tinubu's genius lies, not in loud gestures but in subtle ones, the art of turning appointments into instruments of emotional and political harmony. With Dr. Bernard Mohammed Doro, he has again proven that leadership is not just about administration. It's about psychology, understanding how people feel, and managing that feeling with intent. Whether one applauds or questions the choice, one thing is clear. The president knew exactly what he was doing. And in the quiet that followed the announcement, Tinubu once again reminded Nigerians that in politics, silence, when used strategically, can be the loudest move of all. The commentary was written by Bagudu Mohammed and edited by Kingdom Chieche Nwafor.